Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Isaac and this is Blast Creative Academy. Now, another very important property of color, or property of light we can say, is the temperature. The temperature of light is something that you really have to understand if you want to go into color grading, because different scenes in your shot or different lighting conditions have different temperature. For example, very typical example is the lighting outside. When you go outside on a bright sunny day, the sun naturally has a warm temperature, right? So anything you put in the sun, everything looks a bit yellow and all that. But the moonlight towards the evening time of the day naturally has a cool temperature. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that if you are trying to depict a night scene in a movie, you're not going to make it warm, are you? No. So if you're trying to color grade a night shot, then you tend to make it cool and more blue. Whereas when you're trying to color grade a daytime shot, you tend to make it warm and more of the bright region. So the technical terms is colors and temperatures are measured in Kelvin, and it rises from about 1000 K to about 10,000 K. Okay, so depending on your light source, your temperature differs. It's also important to note that in the camera, you compensate for your temperature using a feature called white balance. Now, white balance is that setting in your camera that you need to adjust to match the temperature of your light. Say, for example, you hold a white piece of paper or any white material to your camera. What you simply need to do is to ensure that it actually does look white. If it's looking warm, if it's looking blue, or it's looking yellow, then your white balance is off. So there are lots of softwares, even right here in Davinci Resolve, there are ways you can actually use this to set your white balance of your camera. Otherwise, you can just use your eye gauge and just try to make sure that item on the shot that ought to be pure white is actually white. So by the time you begin to compensate for your white balance, you can either reduce or increase it. You will be able to get a nice looking color grade. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know.